Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember? So you don't have to. I don't know if you can hear, but the cicadas are out right now, and boy, do they make the lion's share of noise. I don't know how to connect this to the review, I'm just saying what that sound is. No surprise, we tend to look at movies and shows that have a nostalgic lean around here. Some came out years ago, some are based on properties that came out years ago. But every once in a while, I like to do a little bit of this. That's right, just watch garbage. Your animated Titanics, your food fights, those movies that didn't really have a big impact on people until assholes like me started talking about them. And if you thought those films were bad, follow me to the Promised Land. Very little is known about Joshua and the Promised Land, apart from most feel like they should push the report button on YouTube while watching it. I mean, look at it. Did only one guy work on this film? Well, kinda. The film was a passion project by a man named Jim Lyon.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
Who, according to the credits, wrote, directed, produced, edited, acted in, and even animated the entire film himself. Yeah, that checks out. As is described as a heartwarming tale for the whole family in the tradition of C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien. Yeah, don't you remember that famous C.S. Lewis quote, "What if the Lion King was portrayed entirely by naked Gumbies?"
Naked Gumbies!
Admittedly, I am a little late to the game, as several people have reviewed this already. There's even a reanimation project done by Saberspark. But I'm catching up to it now, because if reality is so ashamed of this movie it won't even produce a Wikipedia page for it. Perhaps us YouTuber clowns can testify this did indeed happen. So, let's take a closer look. But not that close. This is Joshua and the Promised Land. This is way too much serious for what we're about to see. You're not Prince of Egypt, your poster's a Minion Easter egg. Lower the expectations!
The Bible tells the story of a young man named Joshua.
I literally had a fever dream where I woke up, saw that, and word for word he said the same thing. Our gummy terror continues to talk, saying their version of Joshua is a little different from the one you may know. Their version, I feel like I'm gonna get arrested if I watch any further.
Hi, Dad.
Pick up your stuff, Joshua.
His father comes home, also looking like Dr. Krieger experimented on animal crackers. But all is not well in this world where clearly all is never well.
I thought you said you were cleaning out the den today.
Hey, come on. This is my day off. This is what I'm gonna do.
I'll give him this. For someone to read the book of Joshua and this is the first thing that pops in their mind? Someone's doctor must be very loose with their prescription pad.
Oh, honestly, Joshua, will you please get out of the way?
I'm trying to be the only thing DeviantArt refuses to put on their site.
As you can see, Joshua feels kind of lost in the shuffle.
Nothing is seen clearly in this. Like when he was walking up to his room, I couldn't tell if he was depressed or planning to kill his father with a steel poker. The electricity monster from Scooby-Doo shows up and decides to help him out.
Who are you?
Christopher Andrew Eugene Bazzioni, at your service.
For those unaware, that is his whimsically delighted face, and not so this is my last thought before I'm serial killer to death face.
I came here to take you on a little kind of trip, you know? I really think you should consider it.
I'm glad they're teaching the essentials of child safety. You shouldn't go with someone if they're a scary stranger, but you should go with them if they're a really scary stranger.
Where do you want to take me?
I can't tell you that till we get there.
If there's a book of the least trustworthy things you could say to someone, all these lines would be in it.
You trust me, don't you?
I guess.
You trust the guy who sent me, don't you?
Who, Cthulhu's baked unemployed brother married to the flying spaghetti monster? Because that's the only guy who would have sent you. Just watch how gently he teleports Joshua to another realm of enchantment. Like a ragdoll made of glass.
Wow. Where are we going?
We're in the in-between realm of Google Earth and Google Earth booting up.
If you've never seen one, this is a pyramid.
We're really banking on you not having seen one. They travel back to when Moses freed the slaves, but the Pharaoh tries to take him back.
Get me my chariot!
Who's that?
That's the unused McDonald's mascot just called, He takes his army men, I think literally made up of army men, to try and stop Moses across the green, green fields of ancient Egypt.
Come on, let's go see.
Hey! The answer is no. Joshua, sometimes a no means maybe. I'll grant you that.
Don't want to know what that's about.
But when it comes from God, a no means no. That's Moses.
God didn't render him from the back yet, but he mostly rendered the front. His jaw's a little Thanos meets Rockbiter's ballsack, but at least you can tell what species he is.
You can go down there, but first, we've got to take care of something.
I'm disturbed how this animation almost gives these characters private parts. Like the animator said, hey, I stopped before they technically have to put me on a watch list.
Just hold your breath a second. This isn't gonna hurt.
How are you naturally saying so many creepy things without trying? He puts Joshua in the body of someone else. You know what, at this point, do take it that way. And he walks through the parting of the Red Sea.
They have all these tents and pots and things, but they left Egypt in such a hurry they didn't have time to bring any food. So they're all really hungry and irritable.
Moses said, it's all right, just 40 more years to go and you'll be fine. The birds from Birdemic fly over, Chris gives. I'm pretty sure a face that was in the video from The Ring. And Joshua, coincidentally, happens to be put in the body of someone else named Joshua. See where this is going?
Joshua, I want you to pitch your tent next to mine from now on.
Oh, but the birds made a jiffy pop? What is that noise?
Pitch your tent next to mine from now on. I want you close by at all times.
I can't do that.
You know, I'd say this is a sex call, but you need genitalia for that, and they close enough don't have any.
As we speak, the Amalekite army prepares an attack.
Troubles are brewing though, so Moses sends Joshua to fight.
I will stand on that hill with Aaron my brother. I will keep my arms in the air, so you will know that it is God who fights at your side.
Well, isn't that bravely not helping at all? I will also occasionally declare that you have my support. The armies run over each other to fight, some miles away from one another, and Joshua leads them into battle. It's working! I'm holding my arms as arm-holdingly as I can! The battle is won, thus God gives him the 10 Commandments written down for all to see. Or he just tells everybody one by one.
You shall not misuse my name. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Honor your father and mother. You shall not steal.
Boy, I never thought I'd say this, but the 12 days of Christmas is kind of a jam compared to this.
These are all the elders going up the mountain of God with Moses.
Okay, are you the narrator or that little paperclip we're like 2 generations away from everyone forgetting?
You might call it a kind of leadership training seminar.
God laid out the red brick carpet for them. It was gonna be yellow, but if all you got is 1 4th-year cast, I guess it stays red. Okay, so I made the assumption this is a mostly feline-based society. Like, maybe I saw a canine or even a panda in there. But I'm sorry, going from lions to panthers to tigers to walruses seems like a little bit of a leap. Like, I know I already used a Wizard of Oz joke, but this would be like if the lineup was Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Woodsman, the Lion, and a whale. Just because we can't always explain why this goes together and this doesn't, doesn't mean we still can't see this goes together and this doesn't.
Joshua, I want you to come with me.
The community all forms a smiley face as Moses calls Joshua up to meet the big man.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna see God. What could happen?
Does this character have any lines that don't sound like the last thing a Jesse Plemons villain says to his victims?
Just call me Chris.
Okay, he never played a Chris, you got lucky. Moses tells Joshua to wait for 40 days until his return, and God gives the literal Cliff Note version of what he just told the crowd. I guess nobody was writing it down. When they return, they find the crowd grew impatient and started honoring other gods. Moses is really kinda incredibly sorta upset.
No! No!
That sounded like 2 of the in-between no's of Christopher Walken watching Country Bear Hall be crushed.
Oh no! Country Bear Hall has been crushed!
No, I take it back. It's the first no he gave just warming up, and the last no he gave giving it his all, back to back. Not working together in the most spectacular way.
No! No!
Oh, hi, Mark.
I love this movie. Anyway, everyone's acting like a big old jerk, so Moses forces people to drink their god and like it.
Moses broke the idol and hammered it down into dust. Then he poured the dust into a barrel of hot water. Finally, he made all the people who broke the law drink the water. Yuck!
Ha! That's what we do to false gods. We drink them! Now on to Holy Communion.
Moses went back up the mountain to ask God to forgive everyone. When he came back down, he had new stone tablets, and his face was radiant with the glory of God.
The director would like you to know this equals radiant. Or radiant active, either works.
They made an ark, kind of like a box, of gold to carry the stone tablets to lead the way.
But don't ever open it or your face will melt into Rhapsody Street Kids, I don't know.
Jericho is in the promised land.
Joshua makes his way to Jericho, as this Wile E. Coyote sign clearly labels, where he sees it is a strange place where bulls herd cows. That might be the scariest thing in the movie for me. Oh, spoke too soon. A family pic. Wait, the film's not rated. They could totally break out into an orgy and nobody could do anything about it. Which, given how their inner genitalia always looks like it's about to pop out, I'm not putting that past this movie. Why do films with human CG cats always look like they're about to, nay, need to bone? I love how this next scene is trying to be all goofy and silly because the supposed comic relief is back, but Joshua, understandably, is mentally scarred having just watched an infant get slaughtered.
Hi, kid. What's bugging you? Don't you see? These people are doing things to test
You
them.
saw a baby die!
They murder, they steal, they commit adultery.
What's that?
Never mind.
He just saw a newborn get bravehearted. I think he can handle what adultery means.
They're breaking all 10 commandments, and God has decreed they've got to go.
Well, I guess if you put it that way.
Good man.
I know Chris is supposed to be the voice of reason, but every line delivery sounds like he's gonna sell him to Stromboli. Like everything about this guy is designed to be untrustworthy.
Remember, be brave.
It's decided they should take the promised land, but not everyone is on board.
Our wives and children will be taken as plunder.
Stone him! Stone him! Stone him!
Trust me, being stoned has already led to what we're seeing right now. And oh, we got less than 20 minutes left? Let's lightning round some of these plot points.
Over the years, many tried to challenge Moses, but God punished them with his awesome power. Then one day Moses disobeyed God. He was angry and he hit this rock with his staff twice, so even Moses is condemned to die in the desert.
Okay, Poochie returning to his home planet was drawn out more than this. Slow down!
Moses, my faithful servant, you must climb Mount Nebo and look once upon the land which you will never enter.
Sucks to be you, brah. Got out. Moses looks out over the land and hands over control to Joshua before he dies.
When I'm gone, our people will look to you to lead them. Constantly seek God's guidance, and you will do just fine.
And remember, all of this somehow ties into you feeling bad that your mom and dad are fighting. Yeah, that was only 40 minutes ago, and that feels like 40 years ago.
It will be as you say.
His staff gives him magic god powers. That's a real sound effect they use, by the way, like Zordon's in there or something. And he walks back to his people.
3 days from now, you will cross the Jordan here to go in and take possession of the land the Lord your God has given you as your own.
The prophet Charlie Brown has spoken. Seriously, couldn't they age his voice a little?
That's my cue. I'll see you in a minute.
Oh, turns out the narrator was an angel the whole time. And it gives Joshua the order to go after Jericho.
The ark circled Jericho once a day for 6 straight days. No one in the city could figure out what the heck was going on.
I sympathize with those people. On the 7th day, though, the armies roared, bringing the walls of Jericho down. At least that was my understanding of the story. But it was actually these demon Olafs Gallaghering the place.
Pound cake? I guess it does!
And your guess is as good as mine about what this is. And the Lord saith, Outbreak shall turn into Bubblicious, explode into a flaming bear's logo, and then twiddly-doo off to Narnia or some shit. I could literally have Aquafina show up and you'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever.
So, are you ready to wake up?
I thought I was dreaming. This is a cool dream.
You need to go places. But that bear's logo follows him to waking up, accompanied by this half-a-thwomp sound effect. when you're upstaged by Bible adventures, and Chris finally says goodbye. Even something as simple as a hug just looks so dirty with this animation. But the bear's logo attacks, upset at the sexual positions he put his toys in. I mean, after seeing all this, I don't know what weird-ass way a kid would play with his toys. However, Joshua defeats him with... Oh, guess it was a real sword he was carrying around. What is wrong with this family? Speaking of which, his parents keep arguing. Joshua sits down and... Well, I don't know about you, but that changed everything about me.
I'm sorry I yelled at you, honey.
I'll try to spend some more time with you. With both of you.
Just something about the way you sat there and looked at me like, I think I farted, but I don't want to laugh because I'll get in trouble. Just completely healed our marriage. What is this movie? And that was... something. Okay, I will give the tiniest bit of credit. It is impressive that just one guy who clearly knew nothing about computer animation animated this himself. I couldn't do it. I feel like even if you show me the basics, I'd just make a Langolier shitting himself. And this guy made a whole entire movie on his own. So yeah, I think that is something. But yeah, it also comes with the very obvious problems usually associated with just one guy making a movie. It's cheap, sloppy, rushed, awkward, and while probably having good intentions, has no idea how to convey those good intentions. However, is it a so bad it's good movie? About half the time. This film isn't even an hour long, but man, it feels like an eternity because of how poorly put together it is. The animation is so bad it gives you nothing visually interesting to latch onto, so that can be trying. However, the rest of the time, it is just as bonkers bad as you would hope something like this would be. It's very clear why some of these moments are quoted and reanimated and talked about on the internet. At times it's an unbearable type of bad, but there's plenty of other moments where it is the perfect type of bad. I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Just hold your breath a second. This isn't gonna hurt.